General Hospital spoilers warn that the countdown to a baby kidnapping has begun. Let's speak about why Michael Corinthos and Sasha Corbin's child may be in danger now that she's arrived. Fans of General Hospital are aware that Port Charles can be a hazardous area. Therefore, we must assess the potential for trouble. Sasha and Michael recently received their newborn daughter, so it may not be long before she becomes a target. After all, Daisy's parents are from hazardous backgrounds. Sasha was kidnapped by Jen Sidwell owing to Holly Sutton, so bear this in mind. Despite the rich bargain Sasha made with him, we don't trust Sidwell not to strike again if things go wrong. Sidwell has proved that he will resort to kidnapping to achieve his goals. Therefore, it's feasible that he will kidnap Sasha and Michael's baby girl in the future. There's even a potential Holly will find herself in another situation that will have an impact on her new grandson. Of course, we cannot disregard Michael and the risk his family poses. Michael was caught in a penthouse explosion intended for Sonny Corinthos, so there's something else to remember here. What if Sonny's secret enemy grows weary of all these fruitless attempts to kill him? Daisy, Sonny's new granddaughter, may be abducted as part of a tragic trap. What better way to persuade Sonny to sacrifice his life than to kidnap Michael's daughter? A baby kidnapping could persuade Sonny to willingly accept a horrible fate. Naturally, Jason Morgan could jump in to save the day, but there could still be some scary moments concerning the baby depending on how things turn out. Bottom line, kidnapping is pretty much a rite of passage for soap infants, so it's probably only a matter of time before Michael and Sasha's child is taken. According to General Hospital spoilers, there will be more baby drama. So stay tuned for updates on any bad news for Sasha and Michael's new family. The time was ticking, and every second brought Michael and Sasha closer to a horror they had never believed conceivable. Their adorable infant, barely 6 months old, was the target of a nefarious scheme that threatened to destroy their family in the most horrific way. The warning had arrived too late, a cryptic message pushed under their door in the middle of the night. They're coming for her. You have 3 days. Initially, they rejected it as a nasty hoax. Who would want to kidnap their children? They were regular people. Michael, a high school teacher, and Sasha, a nurse at the local hospital. They had no adversaries, no dark secrets, and no reason to think anyone would target them. But then a second message arrived on Sasha's phone. 48 hours. She's ours. Panic set in. They summoned the cops, but without hard evidence, there was little they could do. The officers filed a report, vowed to enhance patrols in the area, and encouraged the residents to remain watchful. But vigilance would be insufficient, not when the threat was so vague and unseen. Michael and Sasha started retracing their steps, looking for any hint. Had they enraged someone? Was this vengeance? A ransomware scheme? Or something far darker? Sasha's thoughts turned to the hospital. Had someone followed her home? Was a patient fixated on her, or on their baby? Michael wondered if it was related to one of his students, possibly a troublesome teen or an unhappy parent. Yet nothing made sense. The third message read, 24 hours. Say goodbye. Terrified, they placed additional locks, installed cameras, and took turns keeping up. Friends and family offered to remain with them and form a protective circle around the baby's crib. However, the terror was paralyzing. How do you stop an opponent you can't see? As the hours ticked away, Michael made a desperate decision. He packed a bag, grabbed the baby, and informed Sasha that they were leaving immediately. No destination, just away. However, as they ran to the car, a shadow passed across the driveway. The kidnappers had arrived early, and they were not alone. Expanding to 2,000 words. To get to 2,000 words, the novel would dive deeper into Michael and Sasha's origins, relationship, and the psychological impact of the threats. Here's how the story could develop. Background and character development. Michael's past. Look into his teaching profession. Has he ever had a student who became fascinated with him? Did he fail someone who then blamed him for their downfall? Sasha's work at the hospital. Describe a disturbing meeting she had with a patient, possibly a mother who had lost a child and got obsessed with Sasha's baby. Their relationship. Show the tension and love between them. How does the stress of the threats affect their marriage? The investigation. Police involvement. Despite their initial dismissal, a detective begins to take the case seriously after seeing a pattern. Other families in adjacent towns reported identical notes before their children disappeared. Hidden clues. Michael discovers a sign in the text that points to an underground organization that traffics infants. The final hours. A trap. The kidnappers are found to be part of a broader conspiracy, with someone close to them implicated. Betrayal. A trusted friend or relative is exposed as the perpetrator, motivated by jealousy or a warped desire for vengeance. The showdown. A dramatic showdown in which Michael and Sasha strive to save their kid, culminating in a daring escape or rescue. Aftermath. Psychological impact. How do they recover? Do they move away? Will they ever feel safe again? Unanswered questions. Is the threat truly gone? Or will the nightmare return? Curtis and Marshall resume talking at Curtis and Portia's house, unaware that Kai had caught a portion of their chat. Marshall mentioned that he believed something was awry between Curtis and Portia. Curtis informed him that he had discovered Portia had been lying to him again for months. He stated that he is disappointed, but he does not want to repeat the mistakes he made with Jordan. He acknowledged that Jordan lied because of her profession and tried to fight for them, and that he sometimes felt he gave up too quickly. Marshall remarked that perhaps he should give Portia another chance as well. Marshall left and Jordan, who had left Sidwell's castle, returned for a visit. They addressed his issues with Portia. Curtis informed Jordan about Portia's involvement in drugging Drew with ketamine. Even though Jordan doesn't understand everything Portia has done, she reminded Curtis that fear is the motivating reason behind many lies and poor actions. Curtis stressed that they want to do all possible to protect Trina from the consequences. Jordan recommended that the kindest thing you and Portia can do for each other is not to rush to judgment, and to take some time to sort things out and work on salvaging their marriage. Curtis reminded Jordan of his promise to protect Portia from Drew as she left. Natalia was arrested for DUI and imprisoned at the PCPD. Ediamali Lansing arrived, but had to withdraw herself from representing her due to a conflict of interest because Natalia was the homophone who disrespected my sister. Natalia remained disrespectful and contemptuous, insisting that her handcuffs be removed. They were eventually removed after Molly had left. She contacted Marco, who directed her to voicemail and left a message saying she was in serious difficulty and needed him. Still at the park, Jason informed Anna that he would investigate into Dalton. As they were wrapping up, Ada Turner jogged by and commented on how wrong it appeared for them to be together. Anna informed her that they were discussing familial events that had occurred at the nurses' ball. Jason left, and Turner urged Anna to be mindful of how she is regarded. Anna said, "Petty and suspicious minds will constantly discover imagined wrongs. There's nothing I can do about it." Turner informed her that her actions were jeopardizing public faith in the city of Port Charles and its officials. Anna told her to keep it for her stump speech, showing that she was aware of Turner's plans to run for district attorney. Turner continued to make accusations against Anna and Jason's relationship, as well as Laura and Sunny's. Anna went away. Turner received word that Natalia had been arrested and left at the station. When Turner got at the station, she asked the desk officer to obtain priors and any information he could locate on Natalia Ramirez. Turner entered the interrogation room to interview Natalia, who reminded her that she couldn't speak until her lawyer was present. Turner said it was okay since they could talk about Sonny Corinthos while they waited. Natalia didn't seem happy. Jordan spoke with Sidwell on Spoon Island about donating to the city's 4th of July celebration. She felt it would be a nice follow-up to the nurses' ball. She also inquired about publicly disclosing details regarding his connection with Henry Dalton. Sidwell stated that Dalton had unique ideas for renewable energy, but did not want to publicize his involvement until he knew whether they would be successful. Marco came in. Sidwell asked Jordan to provide an update on Measure C. She stated that 62% of voters support using Sonny's property for the Esplanade through eminent domain. Marco reminded his father that if Measure C succeeds, his property will be lost. He also hoped his father had a backup plan because he didn't think Sonny Corinthos would give up without a fight. Papa Sidwell remained unaffected. Marco told his father that he didn't want anything to do with his campaign to drive Sonny out of town, in part because of Lucas. Marco believed that he and Lucas had the potential to be something exceptional, and he did not want to jeopardize their chances. Sidwell was thrilled at the possibility of acquiring Sonny's peers, which would allow him to develop his activities as a mineral importer as well as his less public pursuits. Marco reminded him that he would only represent him in genuine commercial operations. This was our arrangement. I want nothing to do with anything illegal. Papa Sidwell stated that he did business all over the world, and what is illegal in one location is legal in another, with no regard for existential good. Marco questioned his father's desire to push for him, to which Sidwell responded that he had no interest in changing how he does business or lives his life, but that the offer for Marco to be his right-hand man remained on the table. Nina went to see Drew at his home. He said he was going to tell Willow that Nina had set him up. Nina warned him that if he did that, they would both lose Willow because she would tell her about them sleeping together. Drew wondered what kind of mother she was to do that to Willow. Nina responded, "The kind of mother that is desperately trying to save her daughter from you." Nina admitted, frustrated, that he had entire power over Willow. Drew believed that because Michael cheated first, he would lose custody. Once Willow has custody, he intends to relocate all of them to Washington, away from his haters. Nina attempted to persuade Drew to take a step back and allow calmer heads and compromise to prevail, but Drew stated that the only way to safeguard Willow is to convince her that Michael is persistent and unable to be trusted. Willow needs custody of her children. Otherwise, Michael will take them from her, he declared angrily. Sonny met his baby granddaughter, Daisy, in the hospital. Around the nurse's desk, Felicia congratulated Carly and said that Bobby would be thrilled to know that another Spencer woman is also a Scorpio. As Willow approached, Felicia informed Carly that she needed to thank her. Carly thanked Willow. Willow expressed hope that once the court announced her ruling, all of the nastiness would go away. Carly said, "My greatest hope is that all of my grandchildren end up safe and loved," and then walked away. Willow told Felicia that she believed Michael would lose custody now that his secret was out. Cody visited Sasha's room after Sonny left. Cody admitted that he probably owed Jason a few apologies and was relieved that she had found happiness. Michael and Sonny had a heart-to-heart in the hospital corridor. Michael apologized for not telling him the truth about the baby. Sonny hoped that all of this, no matter how it turned out, would provide an opportunity for compromise. Jason then paid Sasha another visit, and she thanked him once more for everything. She asked for one more favor. "Would you be Daisy's godfather?" Jason stated that he would be honored and accepted. Then Carly walked in to greet her baby granddaughter. She stopped Sasha from apologizing and explained that she realized they did everything they could to protect Michael and the baby. Her only wish was that Michael and Sasha continue to be honest with each other. She volunteered to be there for anything Sasha required. Willow approached Michael at the elevator as he was leaving. He didn't want to stop because he wanted to bring Wiley and Amelia to meet their baby sister. Willow then told Drew over the phone that she would stay at the hospital until she saw Wiley and Amelia. Finally, Nina went to Sasha and told him the truth. She explained that she was the one who gave Rick the information regarding Sasha and Michael. Sasha was stunned, wondering how she knew why she ran to Rick, and how she could do such a thing to her. Nina said she hated doing it, but she couldn't allow Michael steal Willow's children. "I know you adore Willow, but do you honestly believe Wiley and Amelia would be better off with her and Drew full-time?" Sasha questioned her. Instead of remaining upset, Sasha stated that she was too exhausted to fight or keep a grudge, although she did provide Nina a final warning. Willow is making terrible choices, and she will continue to make them as long as Drew is in her life. In the hallway, Carly questioned Jason about why he hadn't told her. Jason claimed he was trying to protect Michael and Sasha. Carly then inquired, "For Michael, would you have continued to lie to me?" Jason claimed it would have been difficult. Carly said that she wasn't sure whether she was furious or thankful that Michael and Jason hadn't told her. Ultimately, she was thankful. In a moment of panic, she confided to Jason that Willow might be correct in her prediction that she would be granted custody. Anna ran into Sonny at the hospital entrance. She congratulated both of his new grandchildren, saying, "I guess you and Robert are officially related." She added that he might probably get a package of cigars. "The exploding kind," Sonny said with a laugh. Anna claimed that even enemies may find common ground. Sonny replied, "Love is a powerful thing." In the spirit of looking out for one another, Anna revealed that ADA Turner coveted Robert's DA post and was determined to pursue Sonny. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Jonathan Jackson is exiting GH now that Lucky Spencer's departure has been confirmed. Lucky will embark on a farewell tour before his final episode, which will run from June 9th to 13th. After Elizabeth Baldwin declined Lucky's marriage proposal, she helped him realize that he would not be content remaining in Port Charles full-time. It's not really Lucky's home anymore, especially since he feels much more comfortable traveling the world and going off on exciting adventures. Although Lucky pitched the idea of Liz tagging along with him, she's got family, friends and a career there in PC. Elizabeth wouldn't be happy joining Lucky any more than he'd be happy sticking around, so the couple's calling it quits. Lucky is almost ready to leave town, so he'll have to say some farewells before he goes. This marks the end of Jonathan Jackson's 9-month stint, which has been disappointing as far as many fans are concerned. Although it was great to see Lucky again, his return overall has been rather dull. It just feels like the show could have found better ways to make the most of Lucky's time in Port Charles, but now it's too late since he's leaving. On the bright side, Lucky could still pop up for visits at some point. There'll always be people who love Lucky waiting in PC, so never say never on his comeback. We were so glad Jonathan was able to reprise the role of Lucky, even if it was for a limited time, GH executive producer Frank Valentini shared in a statement. We wish him nothing but the best, and the door is always open for Jonathan to return. As for Aiden, Lucky is dreading the thought of telling his son that he's leaving once more. Aiden undoubtedly has some abandonment issues because of Lucky's past actions, so it's a sensitive subject. However, Elizabeth hinted about a strategy to help break the news. Since school's out, perhaps Aiden will join Lucky on an extended summer vacation and enjoy a father-son bonding experience. How do you feel about Jonathan Jackson's exit as Lucky Spencer? We'll be sure to bring you updates as more info comes in on Lucky's final episode. General Hospital spoilers say Lucky's loved ones will certainly miss him once he's gone. So stay tuned for reactions from Laura Collins, Lulu Spencer and more. At the Metro Court, Emma gave another death stare to Professor Dalton as she got out of the pool. Gio was there to hand her a towel. He has been promoted from towel guy to lifeguard this summer. Gio shared that besides Emma, the only other person that I can trust is Sunny. Now I'm not even sure about that. Laura and Sunny were meeting at the Metro Court pool at the same time. She offered congratulations for finding out about Gio, and Sunny shared how hard Gio is taking the news. Laura shared that she felt this thing could have huge repercussions. After spotting Sunny and Laura, Gio approached Sunny to ask if he was keeping tabs on him. Then he apologized, commenting that he is on overload. He was introduced to Laura, who thanked him for being such a good friend to Rocco the night of the alcohol poisoning. Before going back to work, he said that he wished he could have done more for who he now realizes is his half-brother. Meanwhile, Professor Dalton sat down to chat with Emma, expressing that he hoped she didn't have any hard feelings about not getting the internship. Emma shifted to a more demure, flirtatious tone, telling him, "You have no idea how jealous I am that Jocelyn gets to work so closely with you." Vaughn watched them from a distance until Brennan called him away. Emma asked Dalton if there was any chance they could meet up sometime to discuss the things talked about in class. He told her his door was always open and to let him know when she wanted to meet. As he left the pool bar area, Emma undid her sarong, letting it fall to the ground, and coyly turned her head to give Dalton a last look. Laura and Sunny continued to discuss Gio and Rocco. She wanted Sunny to remember to keep an eye on Rocco as well, to make sure the boys know they are supported. She felt that if they presented a united front, then it would not seem like the whole family was torn apart. The conversation was ending on a positive note until Ezra Boyle walked up. Doing his best to be a thorn in Mayor Laura Collins's side, Ezra Boyle walked up with his phone to livestream Laura and Sunny meeting together. Boyle increased his disparaging rhetoric of Laura as he continued to approach them. Then suddenly he accidentally was knocked into the pool by Gio, who was carrying a stack of towels. Joe's smile returned for a second as Laura commented to Sunny, "I like this grandson of yours." Meanwhile, Anna had called Brennan to her office to discuss Professor Dalton. She let him know that it was technically a personal matter, but that she was suspicious of Dalton. She informed Brennan that Dalton is a renowned physicist who made a quick exit from Northern Coastal University to PCU after the lab incident, where everyone was made to sign NDAs. She felt that everything was showing the earmarks of someone trying to avoid scrutiny, and that she was onto something. Brennan did not indicate that the WSB had been surveilling Dalton and told Anna that he felt she was acting as more of an overprotective grandmother. After Brennan left, Felicia came to visit. Anna shared her frustration about Brennan's response and asked Felicia to put her PI hat on to give her opinion of the situation. Felicia asked her if she really thought she was onto something or if she was overcompensating because of Robin. Anna understood her point, but she still trusted her instincts. Brennan returned to his WSB office, where he met to debrief Vaughn, whom he had called away from surveilling Dalton at the pool. Brennan was not happy that Anna was getting closer to putting the pieces together to investigate Dalton, and was very worried that she would compromise their whole operation. They needed to derail Anna, but Brennan felt Jocelyn was too green to handle her. Vaughn told him not to worry because he could handle Anna. Lucky surprised the now castless Elizabeth with a romantic meal at the gazebo, and they talked briefly before getting up to dance in the garden. At what Lucky thought was the perfect moment, he took out the ring and proposed to Elizabeth, proclaiming, "I have loved you almost my entire life, since the first day I met you." After a romantic soliloquy, Lucky asked if she would do him the honor of marrying him, but Elizabeth said no. The explosive trial continued at the courthouse. Jocelyn kept her cool on the stand after all. She turned the tables on Rick and testified that, in the ladies' room at the nurses' ball, Willow told her that nothing was more important to her than being with Drew. Willow initially turned to look at Drew with a stunned, worried face, but then in an outburst protested to Jocelyn, "You are taking what I said completely out of context. Tell him the rest." The judge instructed her to sit down and refrain from any further outbursts. Jocelyn then went on to testify that Drew had busted into the ladies' room and threatened her to stay away from Willow, and that Michael would lose his kids. Michael took the stand next. He testified that he loved Willow and had let her adopt Wiley, but she was not as good as she had seemed. He shared with the court that Willow had kept a life-threatening cancer diagnosis from him for months. He brought up Michael being shot in the head by a bullet that was meant for Sonny, as well as being caught in an explosion meant for his father. He used the fact that Michael had sued Sonny for custody of Avery against him, and brought up Claudia Zachra again. When questioning Michael again, Diane brought up that Willow made no effort to contact him, while he was being treated for third-degree burns over 40% of his body. Willow looked confused, realizing that Michael never knew she had come to visit. Diane then dropped the bomb that Willow had signed and filed documents that made Drew the kid's guardian if anything happened to her. Diane followed up by submitting photos of Drew Kane taking body shots off of the sex worker at the bar, capped with a clip from the sex video in the nursery. Nina testified next and presented a different view under Rick's questioning. Nina testified that Michael kept secrets and that Willow was the best mother she had ever seen. She said that Michael didn't really want custody of his children, and was punishing Willow for cheating on him. When Diane cross-examined, she dismissed Nina's opinion as speculation, as she hadn't even talked to Michael since the explosion. Sasha took the stand next and testified to seeing Willow kissing Drew on the 4th of July. Rick quickly questioned about Sasha and Michael's relationship. To her shock, Rick asked her, "When is the last time you and Mr. Corinthos had sex?" Sasha tried to stall, but then Rick asked her about being at the Brown Dog the night the sex tape was revealed. Sasha had to admit that she left the bar with Michael and had sex with him that night. Then declaring, "You are such a disgusting creep," to Rick, she confirmed that Michael is the father of her baby. At Lulu's house, the showdown began with a furious knock on the door from Brooklyn. She stormed into the house to let Lulu know exactly how she felt and to ask why she blew her son's life to hell. Lulu responded with, "Let me guess. You're here to take it out on the wicked witch responsible for everything wrong in your life?" Brooklyn thought the broom fit, but Lulu didn't agree. Brooklyn continued to lash out at Lulu for what she saw as her callous actions. She told Lulu she should never have said anything. Lulu countered, "Is that really what you wanted? To not know that Gio was your son and for him to not know you were his mother?" Brooklyn continued to unleash on Lulu, who remained fairly calm but firmly resolved in her point of view. Brooklyn told Lulu, "You have always wanted to destroy my life, and you have finally succeeded." Lulu pointed out that at least now she and Gio know they are mother and son, and how that plays out now is up to her. Brooklyn told her she's not going to get off that easy, and that if she thinks she can just blow up her life and walk away, she is in for a rude awakening. The world of General Hospital has been rocked by the news that Jonathan Jackson, the beloved actor behind Lucky Spencer, is officially exiting the iconic soap opera. Jackson's portrayal of Lucky, the son of legendary super couple Luke and Laura Spencer, has left an indelible mark on the show's history, making his departure a significant moment for fans and the GH universe. While the exact reasons for his exit remain undisclosed, Jackson's return to the role over the years has always been met with enthusiasm, making this farewell particularly bittersweet. Lucky Spencer was first introduced to General Hospital in 1993, with Jackson taking on the role as a young actor. His natural talent and emotional depth quickly made Lucky a fan favorite, and he became central to some of the show's most memorable storylines. From his teenage years navigating the fallout of his parents' tumultuous relationship to his own romantic entanglements with Elizabeth Weber and later, his struggles with addiction and personal demons, Jackson brought a raw authenticity to the character that resonated deeply with audiences. His performances earned him multiple Daytime Emmy Awards, solidifying his place as one of daytime television's most respected actors. Jackson's initial run on GH lasted nearly a decade before he departed in 1999. However, his connection to the character and the show remained strong, leading to several high-profile returns over the years. He reprised the role in 2009, bringing Lucky back into the fold during a critical period for the Spencer family. His chemistry with co-stars such as Rebecca Herbst and Anthony Geary was as electric as ever, proving that Lucky remained an essential part of Port Charles's fabric. Now, with his latest exit confirmed, fans are left wondering what this means for the future of the Spencer legacy on the show. The circumstances surrounding Lucky's departure this time remain under wraps, but soap operas are no strangers to dramatic exits. Whether Lucky leaves town peacefully, meets an untimely end, or simply fades into the background with the door left open for another return, Jackson's absence will undoubtedly leave a void. Lucky has been a cornerstone of the GH narrative for decades, and his relationships, particularly with Elizabeth, his children and his siblings, have been key emotional drivers for the show. Without Jackson in the role, the dynamics within the Spencer-Weber-Hardy families will inevitably shift, opening new storytelling possibilities while closing a cherished chapter. For longtime viewers, Jackson's portrayal of Lucky has been a constant through years of General Hospital's evolution. His ability to convey vulnerability, strength and complexity made Lucky more than just a legacy character. He became a symbol of resilience and growth. Whether battling personal demons, fighting for love, or stepping up as a father, Jackson's Lucky was always compelling. His departure marks the end of an era, not just for the character but for the show itself, as one of its most enduring actors takes his final bow. As fans process the news, speculation runs rampant about how GH will handle Lucky's exit. Will he ride off into the sunset, leaving behind a legacy for his children to carry forward? Or will his departure be more dramatic, setting the stage for future twists and returns? Soap operas thrive on surprise, and General Hospital has a long history of bringing characters back in unexpected ways. While Jackson may be leaving now, the nature of daytime drama means that no goodbye is ever truly permanent. Jonathan Jackson's contributions to General Hospital cannot be overstated. His portrayal of Lucky Spencer has been a defining element of the show's success, and his presence will be deeply missed. As the GH community bids farewell to yet another iconic figure, one thing remains certain. Lucky Spencer's impact on Port Charles, and on the hearts of fans, will endure long after his exit. The show must go on, and General Hospital will undoubtedly continue to deliver the drama, romance and intrigue that have kept viewers hooked for over 6 decades. But for now, the spotlight is on Jonathan Jackson and the legacy he leaves behind. Whether this is truly the end of Lucky's journey or simply another pause in an ever-evolving story, his time on the canvas has been nothing short of extraordinary. As the news settles, fans are left to reflect on the countless moments Jackson brought to life: Lucky's first love with Elizabeth, his heartbreaking struggles, his triumphs, and his unbreakable bond with his family.